G'day, g'day, g'day. It's Sunday. Share freely. And we're going to reflect on the Remembrance weekend of the Anzacs because it is the 27th of April 2025. And aren't those numbers significant? They're all 2s and 7s and 5s and 0s. Not noughts, not nothing, because they all mean everything. And they are the fallen soldiers, the men and women that took their lives to sacrifice themselves for others. And we're not just talking about World War I, we're talking about everyone who's gone before us, whether through natural causes. Now, what is a natural cause? Is that getting hit by a bus? Well, that's pretty natural these days. Is it cancer? Well, yeah, that's pretty natural these days. Which is it? Because as I shared freely this morning, I went for my walk for about 2 hours and met no one except myself and Pip.
Do you feel like there's never enough time in the day? Are you struggling to switch off from work, the internet, and social media? It's time to reconnect with family, friends, colleagues, and most importantly, yourself. Join the Be More Social Daily Challenge. Just 10 minutes a day to recharge, gain more energy, and enjoy what matters most. Let's begin.
Wow. So were you listening to that? That was amazing. So I rattled off all the numbers, but I left one out, didn't I? What does that mean? Is it lest we get? Or should we give? I think it's give. Because to me, when we get, we tend to get what we're looking for. But when we give, the world is so much more open and blessed and wonderful. So some might think I've turned religious. Okay, if you think so, that's cool. Maybe it's something different. I might see the world through different eyes, and I'm happy with that. I just hope you're happy for me too, because I'm happy about that. And I find it fascinating how the English language plays tricks on us. And I find it hilarious. I find it ironic, metaphorical, literal. And even today, I know I watch some TikTok stuff and Facebook stuff, and even in real life, when people use the English language, they say, oh, I'm literally going to die if I don't have that piece of chocolate cake. As Crowded House used to sing, can I have another piece of chocolate cake? Oh yeah. So people want to have more. They want to have more, but rarely do they be more. Yeah, so that's called the be, do, have model. One of the languages I love to share. So I love to share different languages to different people. It's just I get told, I don't know what I'm talking about. That's because you're talking a different language. It's probably English. I talk Aussie, a bit of Ockerism, a bit of slang. I slur my words now and then. People might think I'm drunk. Well, it's 8:15 in the morning, and I think I had 2 beers last night. I enjoy a beer. So did Jesus Christ, but he drank wine. He turned water into wine. Or did he? Did he turn water into blood? Or was everyone becoming alcoholics? And he suggested that the cup of life is actually water. Because the way I remember religion, or I went to a Catholic school, and it was sort of rammed down my throat, or that was my impression, because I didn't understand English. And it was coming through in whatever Bible language they say it came from. It was translated from some language, and it was really, really confusing to me. And did I do well in English? Well, I tried debating, but I was great out of the blocks. It didn't last very long. There's a metaphor in there too. But yeah, I'm better at that than debating, because I communicate and I have discussions and I share, and I can share for hours and hours and hours. And I love it. I think that's love and kindness. That's my love language, is body language. It's communicating. It's having open discussions, being able to go from one side to the other. And I've got a really, really good mate of mine. I haven't heard from her for a while. And it's amazing. People listen to our conversations and they think we're arguing. And we look at each other and go, we're not arguing. We're just having a conversation. But we get passionate about what we talk about. And it's really, really cool. Sometimes I get too passionate and it can annoy him sometimes. Sometimes he gets really passionate. And I try and hold the space and take in his passion, but sometimes it gets a bit too much for me. I hope he understands that. I hope he recognises that we all make mistakes. I've made some big ones in my time and I've been punished quite a lot. And that's what I didn't like about religion. They talk about forgiveness, giving, giving. But do they really? It sounds like, I think a pope died last week. Did he sacrifice himself or did he die of natural causes? I don't know. Was it cancer? Because apparently that's a natural cause. Was it a heart attack? Well, that's pretty natural too. What isn't natural? Well, what's natural is when a company or a government department goes to an insurance company who are experts in insurance. And an insurance company says, no, don't build there. That's in a natural disaster zone, like a flood zone. And they say, no, that's okay. We'll pay you more. We'll give you more of the taxpayers' money so we can build on it. And the insurance company says, no, you shouldn't build there. But if you want to pay us more, we'll allow you to be. And they pay more of the Australian taxpayers' dollars. And they build, and the flood comes and knocks it down. And the insurance company goes back to the government and says, sorry, we can't insure you because we told you we can't insure you. We said if you want to give us money, we'll give you a piece of paper. But the piece of paper isn't worth what it's written on. What's written on it isn't worth the paper it's written on. Something like that. It's an English phrase. I don't understand English all the time. This is my understanding of the story. I heard it from someone who works in insurance. Now, did I misunderstand? Very, very possible. This is what I believe he was saying. And yes, it was in English. And yes, I think the company's from Germany or something like that. I don't need to name it. It doesn't matter who, it's about the people. And the government then paid that money. And then I believe the government then forced the people to pay more money in their premiums because the insurance company told them not to build there and they went and build there anyway. That doesn't make sense to me. But it's starting to make sense when I apply my languages. And I sort of shared my languages yesterday. And I find them hysterical because when I apply them, I see humor, I see symbols everywhere, I see signals, like the riches in my life. And that's not the money, that's people. The Richards, how many Richards have I met? My father was a Richard, my brother-in-law was a Richard. I think I met 2 on Anzac Day. There's Richards everywhere. In other words, there's riches everywhere. Who else have I met? Andy, Robbo, all Aussie names. Richie Rich. Yeah, there's a cartoon about that. I find it ironic that people don't understand that that's a piss take on the common man. It's just the powers that be. They just like laughing at you. Well, I think they're laughing at you. They might be laughing with you because maybe they don't understand either. I just understand it on a different level. And I'm happy with that. I hope you're happy with it. You can correct me if I'm right because at the moment it's my belief. If you want to correct me if you think I'm wrong, well, I'm not really interested because what you're saying there is my beliefs unacceptable because I speak in the language of beliefs. Beliefs, morals, values, core needs and strengths and love and my daily challenge. They're my 7 languages. If you don't understand them, that's okay. I understand. I appreciate you may not have been paying attention or you may not have been listening or you may have just been watching this for the first time. That's cool, they're all there. Wherever you found this video, they're all there. It's been going on for probably 40 days and 40 nights. I haven't done the maths yet. It could be longer, it could be shorter. It could be 2,000 years or longer or shorter. But there was no starting point. Remember? Because people think that's a naught. They think it's nothing. It's actually a 0. It's a number. It's a 0. So we've had it all upside down, back to front. So if the first number is 0, then 1 is the first even number and 2 is odd. So when we're together, 2 is odd, so you make them 1 and you become 1. That's what marriage was, I thought. But now marriage is about being 2 separate people. So that's odd to me. Do you understand what I'm saying? Why would you want to be 2, then become 1, and then become 2 again? That's odd. because if numbers start at 0, then we've got 1, that's the first even number, and if there's 2 of you, then join together in holy matrimony. Holy matrimony. Well, in matrimony, it's a piece of paper now that you get from the government, and they don't give you priority. I don't know, it's something about the gay community. Back in my day, gay meant happy, but they changed that word too. And I struggled with it because I thought gay pride was the colours in the rainbow. And it was the happiness that when the rain stopped, the rainbows came out, and at the end was a pot of gold. It was some form of Irish limerick or something. But then people wanted to take that away from us too. So it's all about taking. And it goes back hundreds of thousands of years. And it's probably the church that told people that homosexuality wasn't good. Well, in my understanding of language, we're all homos because we're all homo sapiens. It's just some people made it about sexuality. Is that natural? I guess so. But most people, when it's natural, make love. But sex is, I thought when I was being taught or preached at, that sex is a sin. So I grew up thinking sex was a sin and love was tough because my mum and dad were in love and they were fighting all the time. Well, not all the time, but it just stood out a bit more when they were. So I was really confused as a teenager. I was getting these mixed messages from my mother and father, from the church, from the preachers, from the teachers, from all around me. But I was the one that didn't understand English. I did at the start because I was younger and I just played with English and I explored and wrote stories and fiction and I dreamed of where I wanted to be. Kind of like Aboriginal dream time. 50, 60, 70,000 years ago when they had the freedom to roam the land. And I find this interesting, that out of the, I don't even know if Ayers Rock is, or Uluru, or whichever they call it now, I don't even know if it's considered a natural wonder of the world. I hope it is because it's the centre of the earth. It's Alice Springs. And we say, who the fuck is Alice? Well, Alice springs to life, And I find that fucking funny that they make a song and the only ones that sing it are Alice, Alice, who the fuck is Alice? And I can't even remember the song right now. If I could, I'd start singing it, but you don't want to hear me sing. Trust me. Oh, how funny. This is hilarious. But, this is life. This is the way I am now. I laugh at everything and I laugh at my own jokes because not a lot of people understand my jokes because I speak different languages, We used to do this when we were growing up. Channel 7, I think. Then there was 9, still the one. Are they still the one? Don't know. And then 10, thinking they were the perfect 10. Were they perfect? I've heard they're not going so well and they're struggling for advertisers. Well, I think the mainstream media, they're all struggling a little bit, but that's the challenge of life. Am I being negative? Am I being positive? Or am I just being more? You decide. I think I'm okay. I'm happy. Are you happy? Because the ABC is just a continuous loop, isn't it? It's sort of like life. Is it like that? No, it's triple of them. Sort of like the circle of life, The circle of life, Elton John or The Lion King, the cartoon, the animated version, the musical, where you can go and see it in life. See, I think they're taking the piss out of us. Where I think an uncle killed a son or wanted to kill the son because he wanted more power. Sounds like the government to me. But are they joking along with us or are they joking along at us? Because we should be shitting in the ground like our ancestors did, because that's compost. And if you say, well, there's all the toxins in poo these days, that's because of all the toxins we're putting in our bodies. And people say, oh, well, you shouldn't eat meat either. Well, they're natural animals that supposedly God put on earth. So why would God put things on earth that weren't meant to be eaten? Because all species eat other species. Are you saying humans are the only ones? Well, let me tell you, in my world, humans are the most least intelligent, less sensed species on earth because they talk. They talk nonsense because the 5 senses, sound, sight, smell, taste, touch. There's no talking, just silence, or maybe the odd bark or growl or tweet, tweet, tweet. You see it in movies, MGM, rawr. Twitter, the little blue bird, tweet, 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 all tweeting around. You got Chinese whispers. It's all over the place. Yeah, I don't know if they're just Aussie language ocarisms. You know, Twitter had twits, and TikTok has followers. Who follows and who leads? Where's the leadership social media platform? You know, why aren't we all leaders? Because leaders lead from behind most of the time. The wolf pack, you heard that story? Because they want to ensure that everyone gets where they're going. If you're out front, you can't see what's behind you. Yeah, because if you could see what was behind me, you'd probably say good day. But still, people don't say good day to me. Even when they're behind me, following. It's fascinating. I turn around and I go, what does that say? Oh, yeah, that's good. Really? Is that what it said? Good? Okay, cool. If that's what you read. Because I asked you a specific question in what I thought was English. But I should have said, what does that read? Because then they might read it, but then they might not say it out loud. So how do I get them to speak? How do I get them to use their voice? And I shouldn't get them to do anything. I should ask them permission, but that might take a bit longer. So then I should probably tell them why, and then explain how, and tell them what to do. Tell them when to do it, where to do it, who with, and then they ask why. And it's just this loop. Loop, 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 loop. Sort of like my videos. But I know when they're gonna stop. And I'll never stop because I stop at the end. But the end is at the beginning because I always have the beginning at the end in mind. You like that? Be more social. Simply say, g'day.
Thanks for listening as we take on the Be More Social challenge. Join Danny Crouch tomorrow as he shares his journey, and we hope you'll join in too. Drop a comment below. Tell us how it's going, ask questions and share your insights. Find more details in the description or at chooseyourchapter.com.au. Let's make time, boost energy, and aim to be more social today.